Hello, welcome. We are in the race as we speak. The riders have just gone over the com, and we've already got 3 riders. The selection has already been made. I've also been joined by Mark. He seems to have some connection issues at the moment, so he's hopping in and out, but hopefully he's going to be fine. But anyway, we are here for the EMEA semi-finals. We're currently in with the A's. We're going to try and cover off all the categories tonight and the women if I can get screen sharing from my other computer to work. So fingers crossed. We'll be checking the comments. So please do comment wherever you're watching from. I should be able to see it, whether it's from YouTube, if it's from Twitch, you name it, should be there. So I was relying on Mark to do some talking whilst I hopped onto my other computer to try and get the women's racing to work, but no joy. You can also see we've got Dan and James who are currently in the race, and we're going to be watching them, I guess, get quite sweaty. We've seen Dan before. Dan has kindly joined the races before, showing off his wheel set and working pretty hard. I can see he's racing pretty hard already. Oh, I can see Francis has said in the live chat he's watching the stream. Just so we can see we got wait a minute. Are those guys ahead? Wait a minute. Oh yeah, these guys are slightly ahead. So Michelle's was 13 seconds off the back. It's going to be interesting to see whether it comes back together. I'm going to hop on over, see if we can get Mark back in. Mark, are you there? You should be. Look at those glasses.
Yeah, I can.
We can't hear you. Oh, there we go.
You hear me?
I do hear you.
All right, awesome. Yeah, my good. My internet's on the fritz, so I might have to just jump over to my phone and just kind of do it off that. So if you just give me 1 minute, and then I can do that if that works.
Sure. Yeah.
Or if this is coming through clear, I can just do it here.
Yeah. Okay, so we're currently in with the A's. The A's have we've already had a bunch of different attacks already. You can see with Bassett is off the front. We've got 6 seconds over Dan Pan. Michelle's in. Sanders in 11 seconds back. It is all split up in the A category. Although saying that, a little bit further back, these riders are all together and they can be working together to try and crawl back towards the last 2 riders. So going to be very interesting to see how they work together, or if they even work together at all. But you can just see that they are going to catch Dan Pan just now. It makes sense for him to sit up a little bit, wait for them to meet him. It's probably the best bet because they can see Bassett just up the road. It does say 10 seconds, but it looks less. It looks less on the road. So I'm going to try my... yes, quit and reopen. My days. Technical problems today. But we are going to bring you the women's race, hell or high water. So, yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Right. Hopefully that's the sound of Mark coming back to the stream. So No, it was Dan who left and then rejoined. Hopefully the stream is all right for you. If it's me, it might be because I'm running two Twitches at the same time. Not two Twitches, sorry. We're running Zwift on two computers at the same time. So let's see. So we are going to hop between the different races. The A's are currently 6 kilometers in, already seeing a split. A couple of the riders are a bit further back. Francis didn't even start. He's just sat there. It looks interesting kit choice, but nothing from Francis at the moment. So it's going to be interesting to see how these A riders actually work it out, if they are going to work together. We are going to be trying to jump around and cover off the other races. The Bs is probably the one to watch. I think that's the one where we have the most riders currently. So let's try and hop over to those Bs and see if we can get them up on in the race. I'm just saying random words at this point. Okay, it's not club event not appearing there. Cool. It worked fine last time. Wait a minute. Oh, God help me. Right. No, it's not going to show me the event. Okay, that might be an issue. So we're going to stick with the A's until we know what is going on. There is some power-ups being dropped on this little incline here. And yeah, although it really does make sense, but they still work together. So don't want to be dropping anybody here. So it makes sense to push on, but it really doesn't make sense to lose anyone either. So interesting to see what they do here. I know Sanders will want to be pushing on, want to be pushing over, but yeah, got to try and work as a team, I think. Let's try and get in. Right, Dan, no. Let's get back. Mark. Oh, there's a lot of juggling going on. Mark, but he hasn't got any video. Maybe he's got voice. Let's see. No. Nothing. Okay. You there?
No. Hey, can you hear me here?
I can hear you.
All right, you're coming across as like Alvin and the Chipmunks here. I think it's my internet connection, but hopefully it.
I sound more like Theodore in real life. Okay, so maybe we will get maybe we will get Mark back. Going to try and add Dan in again, and yeah, I'm just going to also check. I still seem to have enough free RAM, which is fine. So let's get the women in. Can I screen record? Wow, Jesus Christ. Whoa, okay. So hopefully I will be able to get the women's race. Oh, look. Let's see. Let's see if it's going to work. Let's see how it works off my other computer. Oh, I think there's been a conversation between the ladies, but they're going to make it a time trial. By the looks of things. I don't know if they're all on time trial bikes, but 3 of them certainly are, which is very interesting to see. So, yeah, really treating it as a bit of a time trial there, which is pretty cool. So we have got the women's race. So I promised I would do it, and we've got it there. So got a few of the women riders out there, literally time trialing it. So I think the majority of these riders are going to go through to the final. So I think they're just maybe they've even just decided that they're going to make it a little bit harder for themselves. So, which is fair enough, you know, if you can, if you feel like it, like why not? So throw Mark in there again if he's going to hop in. So we're going to come back and try and watch a bit of the women's racing so that they get some coverage. Let's just hop back to the A's, and then we're going to try and jump through and see some of the other categories as well. It worked perfectly last night, but I seem to be having some issues today. So, but saying this, the riders here who had been kind of working together as a team, it's not working out that way currently. Here's Sanders. He did make a bit of an attack going up this the small incline just a few minutes ago, but he's currently at the back of this group and it's really strung out currently. But I'm pretty sure he's been biding his time, waiting to come back. You can see all 5 of the main riders, or 6 of the main riders here. I think it's 5, 2 just up the road, and then there's these 3 riders here. Going to be interesting. We're going to stay with the A's, mainly because I don't have a choice at the moment, but we're going to stay with them anyway and see how this ascent works out. Mark, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, good. That's good. Yeah, that was a bit of a cluster there, but yeah, kind of jumping in and out here. I saw the A's go up the hill there on the first lap, and yeah, from the get-go, there was, like I said, there was 3 guys who were kind of driving the front and kind of giving it the beans. So from the get-go, it's not been an easy race for these guys.
No, and it's Dan Pan dropping the feather power up to try and bridge over to the 2 riders up the road. So good to see, but he's slowly reeling them in, and yeah, interesting. 3-second gap now to the 2 riders he was with. So you can see him. He's out of the saddle. He's working so hard. He's pixelating himself. So look, you don't get this in Swift Grand Prix. You get to see live pain of Dan Pan. Although, to be fair, he looks like he's enjoying himself here. He doesn't look like he's in too much pain.
Yeah, if you've got if you're able to keep a straight face and not have a grimace, yeah, I think he's just kind of keeping his cards close to his chest. He's not digging too deep.
It could be that he knows he's on the live stream, so he's just being coy. He's got a poker face. He is. Well, what's happened? He's now in 4th. He sat down. He was out of the saddle. He was first, and he's just sat down, wiped his face, and it's all gone a little bit awry there. He's gonna lose the intermediate points across the com banner there. Not sure what happened. I'm sorry, you slightly missed it. I was too busy looking at Dan's video, but this is what was happening in the race. So yeah, very, very, very interesting to see how that went down. The cool thing about this race, of course, is the ascents up the com. It's a cool com. It's the original, but it's still pretty effective for splitting up groups where necessary. So
yeah, for sure. And then even like once you get over the top of that com, it's not easy going. Like there's that initial little downhill, but then you get that nice little kicker kind of about a K after the top of it, where if you're not paying attention, you can definitely lose a lot of ground to other people. So
yeah, I'm gonna see if there is really funny how the Zwift Companion app is doing something differently today than it did yesterday, where even the club event had started. I could still hop into the race. So, but I'm going to try and see if just by finding someone who's racing in all the other categories, I can hop on over to them. But otherwise, it is all back together at the front of the A race. And yeah, I wouldn't, if I was in this group, I'd be like begging that we have a little bit of a rest of attacking. I don't know about you, but I would be in the chat saying, guys, let's call it. We go even into seconds. But the minute I say that, there's another attack.
yeah, well,
I mean, I'm liking this. They don't have to
good to
attack
watch.
each other, but I'm glad they are. It's very entertaining.
Yeah, and looking at kind of some of the numbers that these guys can push, like man, they're not messing around, so they're definitely not holding back. And straight away, yeah, we've got Dan coming back over the top here, sitting at 5 watts per kilo. He's going to give it to the other boys, that's for sure. There's no love loss.
Definitely not. So I've just hopped in, gone over to the C's, just to see how they are getting on. They're going to be heading towards the com now, so it's going to be very interesting to see how it all goes down. They've got a pretty big group here as well. So,
yeah, they all seem to be together. Like I don't know what happened on that first lap. I tried getting on Zwift Power, but it's not obviously shown because it's a club race. But yeah, there's still a good little group there, and kind of again looking at the numbers, there was a few people from the first race who I actually was pretty impressed with. Like Carolina, she raced with us in the Bs, and yeah, she was super hard to shake. She was riding really well. Obviously got James from last night and David, and actually Dan Pellegrino, he was up there as well, and he's got a good sprint on him too, so he's kind of one to watch there at the end.
Yeah, there's a good Polish contingency here because Letzman's there. Here I remember from watching last night as well. So it's good. It's good that there is a sizable group here. Is it going to be the case by the time we get to the top of the com? That is the question. And you can already see that it's starting to, there's a little bit of like nerves. I think it's starting to just spread out just a little bit. You can see that the peloton is getting a bit stretched. Do you think there is going to be any sort of serious attacks at this point, though, or do you think they're going to be fairly coy as they head up here?
Yeah, it's still too early, really, for me. Like, there's still 2 laps to go, so still another time up this KOM after this one, and this is a group of 13. So if they're feeling good, then maybe they might have a crack and maybe try and pull 2 or 3 off the front and kind of get a good little group going. But
wow, yeah, look, the flame socks are being brought to the fore. It's Powell off the front. James is the one to react.
James straight away.
We can hear him panting. I'm going to put him on mute. He's out the saddle. He's giving it some beans.
There you go.
That's what you like to see. But he hasn't got a feather power up. Everybody behind him's got a feather power up. So they're slowly but surely creeping past him. And he's going to have to be with these front group of riders if he wants to make it through to the final tomorrow. So this is a real crunch point for James right there. So, yeah,
it is for sure. Yeah, and if you look at like Powell there, he's coming in as the lightest rider, and he's still kind of giving it. So yeah, definitely, if you're not able to go with him now, you're gonna have to dig deep just to crest this hill and hopefully stay with him. And as you say that, he's dropping the arrow there, James, trying to just hang on.
That's the rider in front of him.
Is it? Okay,
yeah. Yeah, I think that's. But he's this bit of gradient here. It's a bit lower than the gradient of the first section. So I think if he just time trials it, he should be good. Nobody's attacking each other further up. So, yeah, it's pretty good to see that he is going to make it back. I think everybody else is just kind of sat up by the looks of things. So, but he's going to have to dig a little bit deeper. Like there's still a bit of a risk of him not making it back on. I mean, come on, James, get out the. He is out the saddle. Get out the saddle again, James. Come on,
come on, buddy.
Bridge over. You got 200 meters. If you don't get over before the descent, it's going to be over. He's out the saddle.
You might as well have a beer now and call it a day.
Exactly, or a cider.
Yeah, or a cider.
quick, James, got to react. It's almost de-essing one of the elite races. Oh, he's nearly back on. He's nearly back on. He's nearly back on. He's gonna make it. He had to react then.
Here and he'll be back on.
He had to react then, and he did. I'm claiming that as my own. Well done. You can have a ride on there, James. Well done. Still in the group. Still in the. Still have the opportunity to make it through to tomorrow's final. Well done. Good job.
Yeah, and it seems like there's a bunch of the van power-ups just being kind of sent there. People trying to just catch her breath, get a little bit of an easy roll down this hill, and hopefully recuperate, ready for round 3 up that KOM.
I can just see that Rover in the chat said, "Nice performance for the camera, James." And I think it was perfect bit of drama that you want to have in a live stream. Lovely that.
He's for the audience.
Yeah, right. So let's just quickly bring in the women again, see how they're doing. Here we are, a perfect side-on view of the time trial, which is currently going down.
There you
go. So we have got these 3 riders who are all together. I think it's Becca Nielsen, who's currently been dropped off the back.
Wow.
Yeah, did not see that one coming. Here's Becca Cam. See how she's getting on. And yeah, there's a bit of daylight now. 14 seconds back to Becca. So yeah, bless her. She's been dropped. But the other 3 riders are all together. So I think the stream's still early days. I think the stream is a little bit patchy. So so I'm going to hop back onto the men, and yeah, we'll still keep an eye on the women's race, see how they're doing. But they are having a bit of fun out there, having a team time trial amongst themselves. But I expected Becca to still be there, but she's in no man's land, as it were. She's stuck in the middle between a front group and a chasing group. So, which is probably the worst place to be in any race.
Yeah, just stuck there, just kind of hoping that you can bridge across, and yeah.
Right, let's see if we can get someone. I think I would have thought that Niels is in this race. I would like to think so. So let's see if we can hop onto Niels. The only problem is if people change their names on I don't know why. Why is it when you're on Zwift and you search for a Zwifter, your friends don't come up first?
Yeah, that is frustrating.
It's very frustrating. And I've searched for Niels and a bunch of other people. Adrian Nielsen comes up. A lot of them. Useless. Not helpful for me at all.
Yeah, when I was doing a cheat sheet here of all their watts per kilo, I couldn't find. I was like, who's NR? And then, yeah, I figured out it was Neil. So, yeah, it was just one of those things where nothing seemed to match up.
Right, we've got the bees in here. They're going very easy. I think it doesn't look like they're really, attacking each other. So I guess they are, halfway around the course. They're probably not as concerned about making any big moves at this point in the race. I think it's always going to go down on the com, and I don't think that they've lost any riders. I'm not sure. You'd think there would be 1 or 2 riders, but I can't see any B riders that have been dropped currently. As the feather power-ups get dropped now, and there are some attacks happening, I guess there are few opportunities to attack and drop people. But that's what is happening right now. But nobody is being dropped. So, horrible. I hate when the camera goes through a rider. It's really disturbing.
Yeah, it is. No, it's interesting that they're kind of just hanging together, and that's kind of happened in the first race that I did with the bees there on Thursday, whatever day it was. Yeah, we just kind of hung together, and it didn't really take off. It wasn't like super animated, and then obviously up that corkscrew climb there for the last time it took off. Vil just dropped the hammer, and yeah, it was torture. And yeah, right now we've got someone coming here through on the Tron bike. Looks like they're having a bit of a dig, getting it rolling. So
through somebody again. Yeah, it looks like it. It's a tough place to. The S's is a really good place to launch an attack. You can get away, but you really got to kind of commit to it. I'm seeing some orange numbers though, but I think that was just as they hit the incline. That was Niels going by the looks of things. Where's he gone? Oh well, he's freewheeling now, so I don't know if it was Niels. I don't know what happened there, but super. Where is Niels? I can't even see Niels on the side menu. So
Yeah, I can't see him on there either.
that's very odd. But I definitely just saw him attack.
Yeah.
So
maybe he
dropped a
managed to hold
ghost.
on to the burrito somehow, and
Maybe he's dropped a ghost because I think your name does disappear when you drop a ghost. So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Is he ghosted?
Is that one?
Yes, he did ghost. He just reappeared then. I saw him.
There you go.
All right. It's all about dropping a ghost and then just reappearing in the middle of the pack.
There you go. Yeah, or maybe he's like me. He's got like a 56K dial-up internet, and he just keeps coming in and out.
Maybe. He's got a serious little mustache going on there.
Yeah, my kids were giving me a hard time. I didn't shave for a couple of days, and then they're like, "Hey, you should grow that out again." So
I was talking about Niels' mustache. But now you brought attention to your own mustache.
There you go. Yeah, it's all about me today. Don't worry about Niels. His isn't real. It's all digital.
All right. Well, let's just see if we. There we go. We get the mustache on the big screen. So you've just let it grow. You're saying this is a random occurrence.
It is. Yeah. It's probably, I don't know, about 6 weeks in now, and it needs a
6
good
weeks.
trim.
That's not a random occurrence now. That's fully committed. That is.
It is. I got to be committed. My kids are on to me about it. If I shave it, they're going to be disappointed. So I got to keep the fan base happy.
True. Well, there aren't that many mustaches in the coalition, I think. So it's good to have one, and such a prominent one at that.
There you
go. All right. Do you think any of these riders in this B-Cat are going to be dropped this next time at the Com? It hasn't happened yet by the looks of things. So
no, I do suspect though, Andrew Todd, I think he wouldn't mind having a bit of a crack up this next climb. He kind of showed that he was pretty strong there in that second race, so I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to have a go.
All right, well, let's watch him as he heads up here. And yeah, we'll see if he is the one, as you predict, who makes the attack.
But it's a pretty stacked field. Like, again, looking at their numbers, there's not many who don't have like a really good 1 to 2 minute power average out of these guys. So it's going to be pretty hard, I think, for them to get away and stay away. But
yeah,
you never know. Maybe someone's having a better day than someone else.
So just hopped on over to the onto the A's just to see how they're getting on. We can just see that it is pretty split up here, but it's going to be Bassett, Talbot, and Dan Pan a little bit further back. I'm surprised to see that. So, you know, they've had one more attack, so they've split things up again that final time up that Com. Yeah, pretty interesting. Dan, bless him. He's had a tough race. I feel like he's been yo-yoing back and forth from being, you know, with these front two riders. Here he is, aero power up and a super tuck. So
yeah, with just the three riders up front, there's no room to like let wheels go. You got to hang on to them, otherwise you're screwed. You're out the back. So
yeah, but it is great to see Dan constantly fighting. He hasn't given up. He could just sit up and, you know, maybe wait for Toljanik to make it over, but he isn't. He keeps on fighting. And to be honest, if the two riders in front of him are only 5 seconds, if they don't really like start time trialing it, then, you know, there's a good chance that he can make it over and be in a chance at the finish. So
yeah, for sure. And Dan, like he can push 4.8 watts a kilo here for these FTP. So yeah, if they start messing around, he can bridge back 4 seconds pretty quickly. So,
but as I say that, the gap's just gone up to 7 seconds. So that's the thing. He really is going to have to work. I mean, I'm looking at the power he's putting out. His power dropped a little bit there. His heart rate's at 166, so he's not killing himself currently. You could say he's earned himself a rest. I wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be the first person to tell him that he doesn't deserve a bit of rest, but it's gone up to 8 seconds here, so he is going to have to dig deep if he's going to make it over. The cool thing is, if he does make it over, then he is, of course, going to be able to just sit in the wheels. No one's going to expect him to, make any effort to do any pulling on the front. So, but that say, the gap's gone up to 12 seconds now. So I think that might be it for Dan Pan. His power's definitely suggesting that he's given up the chase now. And I can see from the live video as well, he's having a bit of a break now. He's like, right, well, I've secured my place on the podium. Maybe, but as I say that, Tolyanic's coming back to him.
Yeah,
so the Canadian's going to make it over.
Yeah, for sure. And then, like, if Toljanic makes it over to him, it's gonna be a good little sprint there for the finish. Dan's kind of got a little bit better 15-second power, but if he's feeling it, maybe Toljanic can kind of roll past him and take advantage on up and through the S's.
Yeah, so I think now with that gap, nearly 20 seconds, it's going to be between these two for the finish. Who is your money on, Mark?
I just looking at numbers, I'd have to say Dan. He's got like a 14.1 watts per kilo for a 15-second effort, as opposed to a 7.9. So I'd say Dan, but I don't know. Maybe Tolyanic's kind of got something up his sleeve for the S's. We'll just have to wait and see.
Well, yeah, but then there's two races we're watching now. Basically, there is the race for first, and then there's the race for third. So we've got Talbot and Bassett who are going to go head to head for the win, and then we're going to have Toljanic and Dan Pan going head to head for the final spot on the podium. So we're going to try and catch both of those sprints as they go down. I guess it's good if there's a bigger gap. If it stays at 18, 20 seconds, if it goes a bit bigger, means we can capture all of the sprints in all of their glory. But I thought there was a little bit of a move happening right there. When it is a bit of a move.
Maybe it is, yeah. He's dropped the power up, so. But
yeah, I mean, it's a draft power up. It's not doing anything.
Just after you said that yesterday is another one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, see, and Talbot, I think, at least as far as Avatar watching goes, quite easily bridged over there. I would just fly past, and I would counterattack right now, but I don't think that's a serious counterattack. Maybe saving it all for the final sprint. Let's see. Would have been really cool to have seen a counterattack there, but
it would have for sure. Yeah, I think he's probably backing himself in the sprint here. He's got a little bit better again sprint than Bassett, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, so we're going to stay with the A's, at least to see the podium, and then we will hop back and catch the B's. So we're probably going to be not spotting as much of the calm attacks just because we are jumping between categories, but we will absolutely get the final sprints and see who does claim the title, at least in the semi-finals, and then is going to make it through to tomorrow's grand finale. Remember, they are fighting for the chance to be crowned the category, the coalition champion for their category for 2024. It is the first time anyone will be bestowed with such a title. It will not be the last time. So it's a real great honor. I can't think of many honors greater, to be honest. Can you, Mark?
No, I can't. Like watching the coronation that happened, this definitely trumps that. There's so many cool things about being able to be named the champion of your category.
The coalition champion, yeah.
That's it.
And you're going to have that crown next to your name on Discord. So that is a real honor. As long as you don't have a role which is higher than that role.
Yeah.
In which case you have a different symbol, but
yeah, and if you've got that, you don't have to be doing that whatever rank to figure out where you are in front of everyone on Discord. You've got that crown next to your name, so you've earned it.
Exactly. There will be no doubt. Right. Let's swing the camera around. We are here for this live sprint. It's going to be very cagey, I think. I would be doing exactly what Bassett is doing, sat in second wheel, as though it is a scratch sprint. Lovely, cagey. Well, the draft's been dropped. The draft has been dropped, but it's a draft versus an aero. So the aero is going to be more powerful, but then it is also who has got the legs to get the finish. And I feel like Talbot's clawing it back. Talbot's going to be the one finishing strong. Oh my God, it's a photo finish. Whoa, I think that
I think Bassett
got that.
I think he did. I don't know.
Wow,
that was good. That was close.
That was good.
Man.
You don't get coverage like that even in the Zwift Grand Prix. Damn, that was a photo finish almost. I'm pretty sure we could claim that it was Talbot. It was Talbot, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Bassett, I thought Bassett went ahead and then Talbot just came back right at the end. So
yeah, I don't know. We'll let those guys arm wrestle that one out, I think.
I mean, it will. The results are on Zwift Power, so we will be able to see who got the win. I'm just going to hop on over. Let's find Niels again so we can hop in with the bees. Whoa, what a great final sprint. Definitely one to clip if you're on Twitch.
Yes. Yeah, that was one. Even if it wasn't you who won it, it'd be a good one to kind of learn from as well. Just kind
Niels is off the back. Niels is 30 seconds off the back. That's the end of his race.
Man, I didn't expect that.
Right, I'm just gonna. I don't get told that I do anything good normally. So Rover said, "Great finish, camera work, Reese. Thank you. I was pleased with that myself. A little unexpected. I managed to capture it so well, but I'm pleased I did because it was a great sprint. So."
Yeah, that was good. And yeah, here with the bees now, they're going up this little kicker and expect a few moves, try and bust this group up a little bit.
I mean, there are some moves going down. It's all orange numbers at the moment. So perfect place, to be honest, to drop that feather power up. There isn't anywhere else really where you get that gradient. It doesn't last for very long though. So, it's if anything, I think it's made that a little bit easier for some of the riders, at least. Maybe they've saved their legs a little bit here so that they can get out for the sprint. But it's going to be a bunch sprint. Rover in as is Neil. Oh, good to know. Could I remember that? I'm not sure I could have. So glad to have you, Neil, in the chat. Neil, Francis, whoever else is watching, hit up the chat. Who's going to win this bunch sprint? Mark, I think you said Villa was a potential winner.
Yeah, I think Aiden and Andrew Todd. They might. If I was a betting man, I'd go to the bookie and put money on with those two. Oh, but then there's Fred. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bad bettor.
You've got £5. Who are you going to put your £5 on?
I'm going to go with Aiden because he dusted me up real good the other day. So
okay,
he's got good legs.
Aiden, I think that's a pretty good choice. Then I'll go with Villa then, just to make it interesting. My £5 is on Villa.
All right.
But it's certainly going to be an interesting sprint here. Is anybody going to go early? Is it just going to be a bunch sprint? We saw a lot of feather power-ups there. So there is going to be possibly one or two riders here who have got a feather power, an aero power-up. That is going to be massively advantageous going into this final sprint.
Who's been keeping one in their back pocket for the last couple of power-up opportunities just to save it for the finish. So it's going to be interesting.
And with a group this size, if you have a draft power-up and you do start your sprint from the back, it is going to make a difference. So could be useful, although sprinting dynamics are a little bit different now than they used to be. So it's kind of less beneficial sprinting from the back, but whatever. I think if you are timing it, if it's all about timing your effort, being able to sit in the wheels a little bit, not at max sprint, with a draft power up, that can work really well still. But yeah, very cagey. No moves just yet as we head towards the final 200 meters, I say, before the finish. Well, maybe it's a little bit more, maybe 400 meters.
Oh,
There's already an arrow being
Here we
dropped.
go.
It's Todd. Todd's already dropped it.
Jeez. He's
Todd's-
giving it the beans, man. He's got a
giving
good
it the
gap.
beans, and there's daylight. There is genuine daylight here.
Moly.
And I think it's going to be Todd all the way to
Oh.
the finish. He's just being caught by NR. Is NR
Who
going
is
to
it?
catch him just in time? No. NR and then AO. All of the letters there in that final sprint. Damn. That was good.
Yeah,
All right.
That was crazy. I'm glad I put £5 on Aiden there for the win and a place. Looks like I won some money there, right?
Did Aiden win?
He got third.
No, so you don't. That's called losing. I'm afraid to break it to you.
There you go.
So you're close. I don't know. You're like first to last.
Yeah, I was the first
First
loser.
to be last, pretty much. Well, I guess second
Yeah.
place is. All right, we're back in. We're in with the
C's.
C's.
All right.
And,
Still got a decent group hanging there.
yeah, they have indeed. So Carolina she's just 10 seconds off the back. Not a problem for her because, she is still racing in the women's category. So not much stress for her, but a bit of stress, I think, for the riders who might be with her. I see Sheridan's there. Powell's there. Very surprised because those riders were looking really strong early on. That said, we've got Dan Pellegrino and Letzman up the road, and just 1 second back, you've got Spears, who I think might make it over. So this could be your podium. Where is? No. So, well, that said, I thought the gap was a little bit bigger. These riders are going to probably claw over. So this is the first race I think we've seen where it's already been broken up a bit going into the S's. Everybody else pretty much stuck together. But we have got some attacks up the road. There's a 2-second gap. So it'd be interesting to see if the Dan Pellegrino and Letzman stay away. But there is only a very small gap right now.
Yeah, they're going to be pretty committed here with a small group behind them. And yeah, it kind of seems like they're bringing them back a little bit here. But with these little undulations, I'm sure just the pack speed will pick them up. And
I mean, I think they've sat up just a little bit. I think they've sat up a bit. I think they know the other riders are going to come back to them. And I think that probably makes sense if you don't feel like killing yourself. Yep. Sheridan, Neil's mentioned in the chat, Sheridan has been talking up his sprints. I expect him to smash it. So,
well,
proof will be in the pudding.
1236 watts is what my piece of paper says. So.
But I mean, it's all pretty irrelevant when you've been dropped. So, I mean, I've forgotten how many of the riders from the C's are going to make it through. It's slightly different because we have different pack sizes. So, let me just double check. Yes, double check. God, so many messages going on around the organization of this. And I can't find my message from Niels. Here he is. So from the C's, 8 are going to go up. So
this pack.
So a couple of the riders back. So that sprint is probably going to make a difference, to be honest. There's still a chance for him to make it through, Sheridan. So mega sprint can still happen. Corduroy, he does very well in the chase races. So let's see how it's going to go down.
Yeah,
here it is. The sprint's been launched. It's James. Is it James Ballock who's already launched his sprint?
I hope so.
Here we go. Whoa. Letzman. That looks like Letzman going now. And it's Letzman who's going away. I think Letzman's going to get it. Gary's not far behind. Gary's catching him, though.
Gary on the line.
Is.
There we go.
Oh, Gary's just done him on the line there.
Nice. Bit long in the teeth there,
another
Gary.
Very close sprint. Wow, respect. I've got to, I don't know if I can manage to get Sheridan. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's good to see that even though there's like these guys
Oh,
all through, still
Well,
giving it.
here's so Sheridan's finished, so we weren't able to hop back in time.
Ah.
That's the other downside of fan viewing in a different category. When somebody crosses the line, you just get chucked out of the race, basically. So, I can just see Niels is cheering for Gary in the chat. That's cool. All right, let's just see if we can bring in. I'm not sure if anybody was racing in the D category tonight. Let's just quickly bring in James if we can. James, I don't know if James, you got your mic on. Oh, wait a minute. James, how was that for you? You're very pixelated, but you're panting hard.
Yeah, but I wasn't feeling too good actually from the start. So that first time up the hilly KOM was like legs gone, and obviously probably just gave me the extra 20 watts to get over.
Good. What place did you finish? We didn't manage to catch anyone behind it. Third.
Nice.
Wow. Very
so
good.
Happy with that. The problem is, you had I could see Gary and Sebastian were behind me, and toast me in a sprint every day of the week. So I do need to go longer, but makes you only longer than 400 meters. I'll take that.
Fair enough.
Maybe not drink a load of beer. Take it a bit more seriously for tomorrow.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. How are you feeling about the final tomorrow? Looking forward to it?
It being a lot flatter.
Yeah, no, it's the final race. It's got to be pokey.
The good news is there's a bit more distance. So in between the climbs, I think there'll be quite a few splits. But in the seas, because today was quite until really the final lap. You know, MP was being a bit of a nuisance. Kept shooting up the road. So Philip as well. So sort of made us back up again. So to them, they made it a bit more. It's interesting to see if someone like I think if Powell made it through, James Powell. Hopefully, he was quite active. So being have to pay attention. If you like.
All right, cool. James, go wash yourself off, dry off, get your legs in some sort of massaging device, hit the sauna, ice bucket, everything you can to get your legs ready for tomorrow. Thanks for joining. Really cool to have you. I'm going to try and bring Dan in. Dan, have you got a microphone?
Nice work, James.
No, right. Well, let's just bring Dan into mime. No, let's just put him. Dan, through the expression of mime, how was that for you? No, don't type. Mime. Okay. And how are you looking forward to tomorrow? No, come on. I'm not going to look at the chat. It's a visual. I'm not looking forward to it. Okay, good. That's what we want to see. We want to see a little bit of tension. It's going to be very interesting to see who is going to get the crown tomorrow. I can just see in the women's race that actually I can probably switch. Let me see if I can switch over via my other computer, just because it might not be as glitchy. I'll try and pull this one in, say goodbye to Dan. And then whilst we've got this one, they're just hitting the S's by the looks of things. So we need to get some betting odds going, says Neil. Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Right, let's just... Okay, I'm going to swap computers for this, just because it should actually stream a little bit better, hopefully, from this computer. So there we go. I'll turn that one off. So we're going to watch as the women come in. I say they have been doing it on their time trial bikes. Earlier there was 3 riders together, but it is going to be the case that we just have Beaver and Borich together here. It's going to be a one-up sprint on time trial bikes to the finish line. And I think Becca's pretty much all but secured her third place, but we're going to be watching that final sprint. It is time trial bike versus Tron bike. Mark, who have you got your money on, or what bike have you got your money on?
Oh, personally, I'd like to be on the Tron, grab a little bit of a draft, and then that way you're not kind of out in the wind, just munching away at the front. But I don't know, they're pretty evenly matched. There's not like a huge difference in their sprint power or their numbers, but yeah, it'll probably just come down to who's a little bit fresher. I'd probably go Beaver on this one, just the fact that she's on the Tron bike and she does have a little bit better power numbers, but I don't know, maybe she's feeling a little bit from the weeks that she's been racing. So we'll see.
Maybe. I mean, there's a tactical draft power up being dropped there. I don't know, just if it's to drop in now, get a bit of a sort of not recovery per se, but just so you can cruise in the wheels, then launch your sprint without a power up. Or has Borowick also got a power up, which is going to be dropped? We're not that far from the finish. We just hit the 200 meters. It looks very casual. Are we even going to have a sprint, or are they just going to ride over the line? They're just going to say, no, there is a sprint. There is a sprint. Beaver's going. Oh, sneaky. Just at the line. Oh, okay. That was cheeky. What a cheeky little sprint that was.
That's how it goes back to me when I was like under 12s. You just kind of hang on the back and just do what you got to do to get your front wheel in there.
Yeah, so we're gonna watch Becca finish. She's gonna be last on the podium in the women's race, and she's just cruising. I mean, she's still doing 5.4 watts per kilogram, so not taking it easy by any measure. But still, heart rate's only 140, but still doing about 4 watts per kilo. Maybe it's all for the cameras, hard to say. So let's just get all of the different camera angles. Here we are from the helicopter. Or is it a drone? No, that one's not a drone. That's a drone.
Yeah, it's a drone, yeah.
Here we go, coming over the finish line to secure third place.
Yeah, a very very tidy ride when you consider they're on their TT bikes, and just kind of the three of them. So it was hat off to those ladies for sticking it out and doing what they got to do to get through to tomorrow's final.
Yeah, nice. So well done, everybody who raced today. Definitely some sprint clips to be captured on Twitch. So I might even do a couple myself just to share, because possibly other people don't know how to do it, but I'll do it. There were some really good sprints there, so it was very cool to watch, and really too close to cool.
Yeah, that first one there between Bassett and Talbot, that was pretty impressive. It was, if only their avatar could throw their bike to the line. That's kind of what it came down to.
True. I probably from about 2016 have wanted Zwift to have race celebrations. So like, even if it was automatic, if you came over the line first, your avatar would put their hands up and celebrate. Yeah. Dan Pans noted that Matt won by 0.025 seconds. Jeez. Thanks for that bit of research there, Dan.
There you go.
Wow, we've got the analyst. He's a racer and an analyst.
That's it. Sign him up.
Wow. Yeah. We only have the best for this live stream. Dan, you're welcome back tomorrow if you're going to provide such services unsolicited. I appreciate that. But that is just how close it was in the end. So yeah, photo finish. So right. Thanks a lot, Mark, for joining me. Always really good to have somebody else in the chat. I am going to head off and have a wee tipple. I'm having a Lagavulin 16 year. Shout outs to the Bourbon Squad, sorry, on the Discord. For those of you who I haven't got any bourbon or bourbon, however you want to say it, at home, but I've got a lot of single malts. So
Yeah, have one for me.
all right, I will do, and for James, because he says he wasn't going to drink. I don't know if that's true. He's unmuting.
Yeah, I'm going down the pub in a minute. Straight down the pub. But
That's how they used to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'd like to say I'm very impressed with Mark on CoComs. Definitely makes me look useless. So well done. Very good to listen to.
Well, you must have missed the beginning. It took him about
the
10
beginning
minutes
of the
to join.
shamble.
I was having to go up a hill, let alone listen and breathe and pedal.
There you go, live compliments.
Yeah,
So,
I'll buy you a beer on a GoFundMe page. I'll start one for you.
Well, it sounds like he's going to need that. So, all right. Well, hopefully James isn't going to have too much of a skinful tonight. We need him back tomorrow. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Mark, for joining me. A few technical difficulties, but we got there, which is great. And yeah, we're going to be back again tomorrow for the finals and crowning our first ever coalition champions. I've no idea who it's going to be, but we're going to have a few little clues. That said, very different race tomorrow. We've got off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure we have got the com we went up tonight, followed by Titans Grove com, and then finishing off with the Volcano com. So we've got some serious climbs tomorrow. Still a chance it finishes in a sprint, but it's going to be a lot more attritional, I think. And it's a little bit more in favor of those who can climb. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it actually, if it breaks up, is it going to be a sprint? Still could be, 2-up sprint like we had tonight. So going to be very interesting to just see how the race dynamics kind of unfold tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a tough one with those 3 KOMs and then that final KOM of 6 to 8 minutes. Whoever rips it up there and has the legs, it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be very interesting indeed. So make sure you are back with us tomorrow live on Twitch or YouTube or the Facebook group because I stream everywhere, but Twitch is really where it's at. And I can see from the chat, most people are also on Twitch. So yeah, great. Thanks for everybody who wrote in, gave us comments. Super cool. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, James, for all of your contributions to this evening. And we'll bid you all a good evening, or for Mark, I guess it's good morning. Are you still morning?
No, it's 1 p.m. here. I'm in Arizona.
1 p.m. All right.
Yeah.
Well, go get some lunch then if you haven't eaten already.
Yeah, I'll see if I can make this race in a couple of hours. So we'll see how we go.
True. Well, best of luck for that. I will check Zwift Power to see how you do. And part of me hopes that you don't do very well, so then we can have you in the commentary again. But I'm sure you'll do great. If so, then we'll be catching you in the race tomorrow.
All right, sweet. All right, guys.
All right. Thanks, everyone.